Hello, welcome to the When I Have Spare Time podcast. My name is Frank, and I'm sitting in a gaming chair. Yep, not sure why I'm sharing that. Anyway, I was walking to work this morning, and walking back home from work in the morning because I work the overnight shift. Anyway, on the way to work, I noticed on the street, like a few blocks away from my house. Well, wait, let me. How many blocks is it exactly from my house? Maybe like 8 blocks from my house, so it's not near my house. Anyway, on the side of the street, someone left a bed, like a mattress, leaning against a light pole. I'm assuming they're throwing it away because who keeps their mattress outside? So as I'm walking by the mattress, I look at it, and then I look to the right at the apartments that I'm assuming the mattress came from, and just it just this happened automatically. I wasn't trying to think, it just happened. I'm like, you know what, I bet you that bed has like bed bugs or something, or like meth residue, because there's a very high Mexican population in this apartment complex. I mean, I've seen chickens run around. that's about, that's the first thing I thought. I guess that means I'm racist, or I'm factually correct, and I'm gonna go up the ladder. So instead of actually walking by the bed, I actually like walked in the street and kept a good 10 feet between me and that bed, so none of the Hep C could jump off of it onto me. That bed belongs behind Trump's wall. Oh wait, Trump's not in office anymore. Damn. Like that bed belongs in a cage with all those kids. Well, Trump's not in office anymore, so I guess we can't do that. That bed belongs. Shit. Oh well, I guess I can't do anything fun because Trump's not president. Yeah. So I was reading the internets, and you know how there's the mass exodus, the mass censoring. There you go. The mass censoring of people who want to use alt tech, alt social media. There's this woman on her Twitter. She got fired for having a Parlor account. Like her job. Gosh, she worked for like a book publisher. The details don't matter because, like, we're not gonna go visit the site, and we're not gonna buy books because people who listen to this show don't read. Okay. Anyways, this woman who worked for a book company, she was whatever. I don't know what you do when you work for a book company, but she worked for a book company or whatever, a publisher. The publisher made a tweet apologizing about their about this woman, saying like, we apologize. She used Parlor and Gab. It's these two alternative social media sites for like Twitter, basically. It's just like Twitter, but for some reason Twitter says that the other ones are bad, and because everyone's a sheep, they go like, yeah, it's bad, and people are allowed to get canceled now apparently. But anyway, so the woman's company made a tweet apologizing that their employee used Parlor. I'm not even making this up, and they fired her. And then the woman, once again, the woman who got fired, her name is Colleen. Um, God, it's one of those last names I can't pronounce. Colleen, Offaline. I swear it's Offaline. But anyway, so she got fired. But on her Twitter, she she said she got fired for being Christian and a conservative. See, the problem is all these stupid labels, like like Twitter. Once again, I don't get my news from Twitter. I use Twitter to see what kind of thought pics chicks post. That's the only reason why I use Twitter. And when I mean I use Twitter, I mean like I check it like once every 3 days, and I check the same four girls' accounts to see if they posted any pics. Like I'm not getting any news from Twitter. Like you know, every now and again I see what Gina Carano posts, but it's like, I don't really care what she posts. I think Gina Carano is pretty, and it's like I know she gets lots of hate on Twitter, so I just like to see if she posts anything that's getting a lot of attention. But um, like Twitter, like when all those riots were going on, people were using Twitter to organize and meet up. But yet Twitter is banning, or I'm sorry, Twitter is saying that's what the other um, sites do, like Parler. Like Twitter's saying, like, yeah, like Parler is being used by extremists to meet up and riot. But the only thing that's been going on for the past, like, I think 2 years. Like I swear there've been riots going on for 2 years. Like, they use Twitter to meet up and stuff. So it's like Twitter's throwing all this shade and negative attention on other alt media to, I guess, take away the attention from them. Because if you want to see, like, quote unquote bad tweets or misinformation, go to Twitter. That's where you go for the extreme stuff. Like if you want, you know, riot causing misinformation, blah 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 blah, it's on Twitter. But yet Twitter's the one that's telling everyone else, oh, this is bad, that's bad, this is bad. Usually, when people are like that, or whatever things, whatever, they're they're the ones that are really bad. Like male feminists. Male feminists, 9 times out of 10, are scumbags when you dig deep enough. Just look at Josh Whedon. All I gotta say. I know that's one example, but that's the only famous person I can think of right now. Anyway, but yeah, so are we coming to the point where if you're not using mainstream media, you're a bad guy? I mean, this sounds so China. And when I say China, I mean like the media is controlled by the government in China, and like it's considered a really bad thing if you're using something that they don't want you to use. Except over there, like you disappear. So I'm saying, like, like it's very China of Twitter, and our government's allowing it. Like this woman Colleen, who got fired for using whatever Parlor and Gab, the fact that the company she works for felt comfortable admitting that's why they fired her and made a public post about it. The fact that they felt comfortable means that you know, it's like it's like they're not afraid of being sued for discrimination, yeah, like what's it called when you fire someone just because? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I just play one on a soap opera. Well, I mean, I did a few years ago, but that's neither here nor there. So I really don't know what it's called exactly. But like, you can't fire someone because they have a social media account. As far as I know, you can't do that. But the fact that her company, felt comfortable doing it means that, like, are we past the point of you know, like retardation, and have moved on to moronism? I don't understand. And the fact that there's no outrage, like this woman Colleen who got fired, I hope, I mean, like, if she takes legal action and doesn't come out on top of this, there is something wrong. Because that's a slippery slope. Because I had a friend who, I mean, I've had friends who were Chinese, who actually lived there, because of the internet you could talk to them, duh. And they are scared shitless, like, of saying the wrong thing on social media, because, like, I've heard them say, like, they're watching us. Like, are we gonna come to the point where in America we're gonna be afraid to say the wrong thing, like in a private chat? Like, there's no point in using the internet then, if you can literally get fired for having an app. What's the point? I mean, like, see this censorship. See, this is why Twitter's gonna fail because of stuff like this. People are gonna be afraid to use any social media because if it's happening to other sites, who's to say someone like if the right person says that Twitter's the problem, Twitter will be gone too. Just like the way Twitter made Parler disappear. Trust me, someone else can make Twitter disappear. Because once again, these are the sheep that are making this happen. But like, Colleen's gonna. I mean, once again, not a lawyer. Played one on a soap opera a few years ago. Colleen, if she lawyers up, she's definitely gonna like end up owning the company that fired her. The company admitted the president of their company admitted that they fired her for having an app. That's what I mean. I'm paraphrasing, but it said we apologize. Our employee was using Parler and Gab. That's basically what the tweet said. Okay, you can't fire someone for that. I mean, what's the world coming to? I mean, next thing you can go like you're firing someone because they're too tall. You're firing someone because of their religion. You're firing someone because of their race. You're firing someone because of their gender. I mean, it's it makes sense to me. Like, what's the next step? You're gonna fire someone because it's Tuesday? I mean, it's just where are we going as a society where this is okay? Like I don't understand. Like, do we have this many sheep in our society, or enough people say this is right, this is wrong, and it's like okay, it's set in stone. I didn't know having an opinion. I didn't know using an app is worth being canceled or fired, whatever. You know what I'm saying. You know the current climate right now. Okay, this just makes no sense. No sense. Anyway, um, I've said enough. I'm gonna go. Yeah, you have a good one.